Oh my god, dude, when people say that Hollywood or even the movie industry in general needs to think of new ideas for movies, this is what people had in mind? This is exactly what you would see in those AI Pixar posters. Like, we are pushing the limit here. Like, we are already going too far. We turned some yellow chicken nuggets into $1 billion brand. We are getting Lego versions of biopics, and we even have movies where emotions have emotions. But now we are giving emotions to sperm? Are you kidding me? How did we come to this? How did we come this far? This is going too far. No, I don't know if I should be shocked. I know nothing about Norwegian cinema, and I don't know if these guys understand modern art more than Americans. Like, what else is Norway hiding? What the hell are they cooking or conceiving? How did we even make it this far? No! No! Cancel this! Cancel this, please! What is wrong with people? I thought we hit the absolute deepest, darkest pit of rock bottomless we could possibly get, but it has not even been 3 weeks, and we got something worse, and it's a skibbity toilet franchise. I'd much rather have a franchise about I don't even know. I don't even know what idea can be worse than this slimy, yucky, rusty, dusty piece of brain rot goop of an internet series. You expect people to get through 90 minutes of this dirt. Why? Why is Hollywood so messed up? This business is so damn strange. Everything needs to be drenched in the Hollywood cauldron. My God, money is such a wonder drug for studios, but I don't care. Cancel this.
Either play favorites, you are racist, or it's a mix of the two. These are the 3 options, YouTube.
It's a pretty aggressive intro, but he is rightfully upset about unfair treatment he's been experiencing. So, after going through what he's gone through, he believes that there's only really 3 possible conclusions to draw from it, where it's either YouTube policy team playing favorites, members of the policy team being racist, or some combination of the 2. Now, before getting into the specifics of the situation, I'd like to say I think most people have been aware of favoritism on YouTube for quite a while. You know, it's not exactly like the Krabby Patty secret formula. It's not hush hush. I think everyone has recognized that there is some level of favoritism on the platform. I mean, there's even that viral video from a few years ago where the CEO of YouTube said to Juice WRLD that they need to pump his numbers up, which indicates artificial growth. It means that they have at least some capability of boosting channels, whether that's through the algorithm and pushing it to more people, or just inflating it themselves for channels they deem worthwhile and good for business. And the inverse is likely true, where they can hide channels they think are problematic and bad for business. So favoritism is something that people have been loosely aware of for a long time. And also when it comes to, mainstream media sources, like late night show hosts have much more leeway than an average YouTuber. They can say and do a lot of things that get normal YouTubers demonetized or age restricted or straight up striked. And that doesn't apply to the big boys in the scene. So favoritism is something I think most people know exists on YouTube. That's not like a conspiracy theory. However, the claims that Corey is about to make against the YouTube policy team in regards to racism are pretty interesting.
August 18th, I uploaded The Mortuary Assistant. A lot of you would know it got age restricted. I saw that all these other YouTubers were playing The Mortuary Assistant, and only my video seemed to be age restricted. So I appealed the restriction. Hey guys, I'm not sure why mine got age restricted. Could you look into this? Appeal rejected.
This isn't the whole situation, it's just the beginning. I already want to talk about something in particular though, the appeal system. Corey mentions that after appealing, he was denied, rejected pretty quickly. That's the norm. I can count on one hand the amount of times I've ever even heard about an appeal being overturned and decide whether or not it was an algorithmic error or a correct enforcement. And there are times where it was just outright incorrect, just outright wrong, and they will still stand with that decision. So I just don't think the appeal system works. That needs a drastic overhaul ASAP.
Only my video got age restricted. My YouTube rep, who isn't on the policy team, he looked at my video and he said, hey, it could possibly be this part at the end about it. So I looked at that part. The first thing I did was try to find other YouTubers who had that part, or at least a part similar. So I go to Markiplier's Mortuary Assistant Part 3, and he had the same situation going on, and his video wasn't age restricted.
Corey explains that after the appeal was rejected, he talked to his YouTube rep who speculated as to why they decided to enforce the age restriction, and he highlighted a potential problem with the ending of the game that was in his video. So Corey then went to other videos to try and find that exact same part, and he found it in one of Markiplier's videos, which wasn't age restricted, yet had the exact same content that Corey's did. So he was left confused. Why is Markiplier's video okay, but his isn't? Now I want to immediately squash the argument I know a few people will make that Cory Kenshin might not be as advertiser friendly as Markiplier, which is why Markiplier is being favored by YouTube here. That just doesn't work, because Markiplier still says bad words. He'll say fuck and shit and damn, you know, he'll squeeze in some naughty words. Cory Kenshin is squeaky clean. He doesn't say any naughty words. He even censors bad words in the games that he plays in the videos. He is the more advertiser-friendly creator.
He brought up some pretty good points that are kind of hard not to think about in that regard, because he brought up a bunch of receipts as well, talking about his instances with the YouTube rep that he had. And just to kind of break it down for you, he uploaded The Mortuary Assistant, and his video got age restricted because of a certain section got to do with self-harm and dealing with the themes of suicide and everything. If you've watched my series on The Mortuary Assistant, you know what scene that is. And he got frustrated by it because it got age restricted, and then he started searching around other YouTubers to see if theirs was age restricted, and it wasn't.
No one else's was age restricted. So I appealed the restriction. Hey guys, I'm not sure why mine got age restricted. Could you look into this? Appeal rejected.
But I should clarify this, that I talked to Cory a little bit about this. I was texting him after his video went out to talk about it, because I really liked his video, and I'm really glad that he did it and brought up a lot of these points. But he said that he checked my video as one of the first ones he went to see if it got age restricted, and at the time it wasn't. But my video has been age restricted since the 15th of August. Cory's scenario that happened was that his video got age restricted. He looked around. Some other YouTubers didn't have age restrictions on their content either. And he went to some other channels like Markiplier's to see if theirs got restricted as well, because like a big creator who's seen very favorably in YouTube's eyes, and had like a very popular video about Mortuary Assistant as well, wasn't age restricted. So he felt a bit targeted as a result of that, which, fair enough, this happens all the time, and I'll get to that in a minute as well. But he went back to his YouTube rep and was like, hey, why is mine age restricted when Mark's isn't, and it has the exact same scene in it? And then suddenly his got greenlit. It was fine. They took the age restriction off and everything went about their business. And then he started to get pretty mad about it, which I completely understand, because why is that the scenario? Why is that the order of operations?
Now, my YouTube rep, he was excited. He was, oh, great, this is awesome. Look, Cory, they took the age restriction off. I said, why? I expected them to triple down and give Markiplier an age restriction too. But they looked at Mark's video and they used that to verify my innocence.
And then sent a pretty scathing email to his YouTube rep, which, fair play to you. I'm very proud of you, Cory, for doing that, because it takes a lot to stand up to these types of things that are happening whenever they do happen, because it's a big system, and a lot of times we're left to feel very dumb in regards to what's going on at YouTube, like we just don't understand the system. And then this happens and you're like, why? What the hell is going on? Why did it suddenly get greenlit when it only was because I mentioned it? And then they turned around and age restricted him again and age restricted Mark's video.
And what do you know? They re-age restricted the video. They re-age restricted the video. I say, no way did they do that. I go to Markiplier's video now, and now his video is age restricted. They got caught with their pants down.
And I don't know if that's when mine got age restricted as well. I think Cory actually uploaded his after mine, so maybe not. But at the same time, it highlights a huge problem on the platform. And I want to talk a little bit about that, not just Cory's case, but my sort of experiences with it as well. Because the amount of times, and I have very good evidence of this as well, because I have a girlfriend who does the exact same job as me in the other room. And a lot of times we upload the same games. And this has happened a couple of times now where we'll both upload the same game, her video will get flagged or claimed or something like that, and mine will be totally fine.
So Cory X Kenshin's original manga, Monsters We Make, just broke US sales records, selling over 200,000 copies in a week. And this is a pretty amazing accomplishment because not a lot of people can pull this off in America, let alone a YouTuber. And of course you have people complaining, saying things like, it's a comic, not a manga. Americans are always trying to profit off of Japanese culture. Then you have people being straight up racist, calling it a monkey comic, and then saying black people are always trying to culture appropriate things. Although manga is usually a term used for comic books originating from Japan, it also is an art style too. So both sides aren't technically wrong, but for the people being prejudiced towards Cory, it's funny when black people voice their opinions on how they're represented in anime, they're usually told to just go create your own. Then when we do, we're hard R's. I pray that someone like Crunchyroll or Netflix picks up Cory's manga and adapts it into an anime to get all these people upset.